We have got some Succession promo leaks, and we now kind of know what the promo is going to be about. And it's actually a pretty cool idea, so we'll talk about that today. The gameplay producer, Tom Kalefi, hopped on a podcast and talked about some stuff. We'll go over some clips today of that podcast and kind of talk about a few things that I think are good and some things I think are like, what? UFL comes out today, which is very exciting stuff. I'll have a base icon pack to open at the end of the video today if you want to stick around for that. We got an icon pack leak too that we'll talk about, so there's a lot to get into. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. And you guys have been going insane, by the way. The 400 likes again yesterday. I saw my analytics tab that we are in the top 0.5% for engagement per video for a channel with my subscriber count. So that's all thanks to you guys. I love the community that we've got here. And we'll talk more about the UFL stuff later, what exactly we'll cover. So, okay, I'm showing you this here because they did not change the mixed leagues and premium mixed leagues upgrade expiration date. They kept it at 2 days. So it looks like this is going to expire. It wasn't a mistake of some kind. So I just would not understand why they'd release that to just then not change it, or sorry, re-release it to then not change it. I don't know why they would do that. So I'm hoping they do. And then also I want to say, if you've not been, well, it's in the menus here, but it's better to show it to you in SBCs, because if you're trying to build an SBC right now, I'm sure you guys maybe have noticed this by now, but if I try and build a 77 plus player pick right now, to go to multi-swap, you actually can't do it with the R1 button. So right now there's like a new bug since the new update that basically just confirms to you the code of this game, guys, is probably a mishmash of chaos and utter confusion at what the fuck they're looking at. So it doesn't seem like a very important bug, but it kind of affects you in like every time you build an SBC for most people. So it's an annoying bug, and people have been tweeting at EA like all day talking about it. So they definitely know about it by now. But I also want to say, who do I use for this sort of cosmetic design, right? The season 2 ladder excellence. I'm trying to decide between my two Evos, which is Saint Max, who looks like this with the card design. I'm probably going to choose him, but also a couple more options. So there's the Saint Max card. Take a glance. The Saint Max card's great, by the way. Next one's Mateus Cunha. You know, do we change the team of the week Cunha to that Cunha? I like a team of the week design. I don't really know what we should do with that one. And also the last one down here, my other Evo, which is Ferland Mendy. Do we make Mendy the Centurions card design there? Let me know in the comments if you guys think one looks like the best choice there. And okay, the first leak we'll talk about today is I think probably somewhere in the title of the video if I had to guess. It might not be. I don't know. I didn't even talk about it in my preview because there's so much shit to talk about. But an on this day icon Buffon is coming out sometime soon. I think it's December 8th. Someone said that is like the date. Yeah, right here. 8th of December, Buffon kept a clean sheet by saving 7 shots, all of them taken by Messi in a 3-0 away win over Barcelona. So that's going to be probably on the 8th of December. We'll see a Buffon, and I'm happy to see this because like it's such an easy link in your team. You're going to use Buffon for a long time. I feel like even if he's overpriced, it's still worth doing because chemistry links on icons are so good. And goalkeepers oftentimes are negligible. I feel sometimes there's a card that's better than some others, but I think most of the time they're probably pretty negligible. So I think that it's just going to be nice to have him in your team if you end up crafting him. But then we got the Ultimate Succession leaks, which now we know what this promo is going to entail, and it's how it says, it's a successor, right? Lionel Messi, Lamine Yamal are both coming in the promo. We have icons and heroes coming, so it's cool to see. Like, I wonder who they're going to choose for this promo. Should be pretty interesting. The card design, to me, though, actually, I don't know. It doesn't actually look that good in the normal cards. It's okay, I guess, but the icons and heroes definitely look better. And the first reply I saw was Maradona / Gibbs White, please. We need Maradona back in FIFA so bad. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, there's no way Yamal doesn't get Trivela Plus in this next card because he literally said in his presser, in his post-game presser, he's like, I pressed L2. They're definitely going to give him Trivela Plus on his next card. But then the next one was everybody just shitting their pants in the comment section. It was Marcus Thuram. The Nightmare has returned, and not his official stats, but he's coming in the promo and probably going to look something like this as well. Now, does that mean his dad's coming as well? Is it going to be a Lilian Thuram, Marcus Thuram deal? Or I wonder who he's like the successor of? An Inter striker? I guess it could be like literally anybody and any Inter striker that's been out there. But you would think it'd be like Milito and Lautaro Martinez, right? Wouldn't you think that? Because obviously there's the Argentinian link between those two. So probably a father and son type deal, similar to what Dynasties was last year on some of these cards. Then we got this little image too with a Succession player, and people thought, oh, is that Ronaldinho with downgraded stats potentially? It looks like that's probably going to be Rivaldo if I had to guess there. So who's the successor to Rivaldo? Who do you guys think that could be in the comments? And also EA themselves leaked some of these new promos coming. Future stars we knew would be eventually coming. And that looks like that's the card design there. Team of the Year is there, which we saw. And also Winter Wildcard was leaked, I think in August. I think that it was the card that was leaked in August, and that was correct. It actually was the right card design. So we knew these three were coming, but we got more confirmation, and now we can see what the designs look like now. And also they are adding snow into the live friendlies mode. Snowy weather physics, snow on pitch and scoreboards, alters gameplay conditions. I wonder if this is going to be like some sort of singular friendly mode where you can go in and be like, oh, it's called like the winter friendly, where all games are on snow. That could be kind of fun, I guess, like something unique. But apparently they are coming to live friendlies, which let me know what you guys think about that. I don't mind it. Just have some fun. And also coming shortly here, we're supposed to get a ton of new players added to Ultimate Team. Some guys who aren't in yet that should be, like De Gea, Alexis Sanchez. I couldn't find the full list anywhere. The only preview players I saw were kind of all the same. De Gea, Sergio Roberto, Mats Hummels, Alexis Sanchez. I think Marco Reus is one of them too. Yeah, there's a flashback Reus concept there, but I think Reus is also added to come as well. So big time flashback potential on some of those guys. Also, guys, guess what's coming? If you open that store pack that had the 91 plus on accident, the 91 plus base icon pack has been added to the code. So you're going to get compensation for it. I think there was a tweet down here somewhere. Yeah, right here. 91 plus base icon pack is coming. 24 cards, 16 Ws, 3 OK, and 5 Ls. If you are going to get one of these are the players that you can get inside of it. And the rest of us, nothing for you. All we get is FOMO. Congratulations. It's exactly what EA wanted to do. And if you're a career mode guy, there were a lot of like player appearance changes today. Mo Salah got his buzz cut, right? They finally got that hair correct. They added some new tattoos. Darwin Nunez has his tattoos again. Enzo Fernandez has his. I think actually these aren't new. They were already in the game and just got removed at some point, but they are back now. There's Kyle Walker and Joao Cancelo there too. I think there were like 100 plus players who got new player faces or updated player faces in this last update, so you can go take a look at that. There's a full list, I think, somewhere out there on Twitter. I think it's actually this tweet right here. Yeah, if you want to see the full list, go to the Infinity FC and you can check out the full list. So, but okay, on to this now. We got the FUT Weekly podcast that had Tom Kalefi on it, who is an eafc gameplay producer. I'll play this clip here in a sec. In its entirety, he kind of explains a little bit on what each role plus does. There's a whole podcast of it, so I'll play this clip here, but then there's also an interesting one I want to play after this one. So, okay, let's play this one first.
The players analyzing all the runs, like there's 10 different spaces to run to, and then they will rank the run. They might do the second best run because they don't see that the best run, you know? So there's a lot of subtleness and nuances. Even if you have like 99 attacking positioning, but you have a regular role, that almost means that you would have a lower attacking positioning to do that run.
Is there anything else that you would like to, I guess, communicate to players out there about the IQ system, or anything, I guess, regarding tactics and gameplay generally?
Keep the feedback coming. Like, we're always looking at a lot of the things people say. We're not like ignoring. We kind of listen to everything and we want to make the game better. IQ is not a one and done. It was an investment in the future of the game, and we kind of will continue working on it and tweaking and adjusting the system and the roles as time passes.
And that's fine. I'm glad they're going to make changes as time goes on. Of course, the system is not going to be exactly spot on how they envisioned it, how they want it to be on day one. That's not going to happen. However, the part that, for one, grinds my gears immediately right off the rip is the fact that I listened to 45 minutes of the podcast, right? I don't understand how you can sit down with anybody who works on the gameplay, and the first question immediately that you ask is not about the inconsistent gameplay. That to me has to be like the barrier of all barriers to even begin conversations. Is like, okay, why do players feel like the gameplay changes from game to game? Why do you think that is? Is that a placebo? Is that something you're working on? Do you acknowledge that it is a problem? Is it something you guys feel too when you're playing, wondering why the gameplay changes from game to game? Like why do you think that is? And of course, I mean, we know it's not some sort of like, oh, it's all in your head shit, but just the way you could phrase the question, you have to bring this up. I think when you have the privilege of talking to somebody who works on this game for a living, the first question to me has to be about inconsistent gameplay. If it's not about that, then where do we even start? But okay, the next clip here is one that's just in a YouTube video. He gets asked about, is the role system too inclusive? Like, does it limit the flexibility that your team has? Is it too limiting on your team? And here's kind of what he said about it. You decide what you think about it. I just noticed while editing this too that the audio clips a little bit. It's not on your end, not on my end, it's on their end. So So just try to ignore that as much as you can. But anyway,
just to move on to a different question, Skog wrote in and said he finds the system overly restrictive at times and that it can limit the players that he can use. Do you think that restrictiveness was necessary to create this tactic system?
A little bit, yes. Which is not something I think people want to hear or like to hear, but in ways it was like, there's a reason why there's no wing backs, like left winger and right winger, that come back. Right? There's a reason why normally strikers don't come back anymore. There's a reason why CDMs don't attack. We were trying to kind of not restrict, but we were kind of to limit certain roles to do certain things, so we wouldn't go back to the player does everything system. Like, just put a player there, dump it in, it can do everything perfectly and go attack, defense, do crazy. Right? Like, we didn't want that. We kind of needed to start from a more restricted system in order to kind of start expanding it. But at the same time, yeah, there are some issues, like, for example, like you said, like, oh, a left mid that can play as like a winger plus, but it doesn't even have a plus, or it doesn't even have the left wing position. I think those are some issues that is not just on the system itself, like on gameplay, it's also on other teams and all the game as a whole. So we've been working on with other teams, the people who decides the attributes and that kind of stuff. We work with Ultimate Team kind of to find ways to kind of remove a little bit that restrictiveness.
So it is nice to see him acknowledging that, yeah, like there are shortcomings to this that we want to work on, and we don't actually want this to be the case. And it's funny that we're hearing that. I think that, you know, for them to acknowledge that so early, this might be once again a take that just is cynical for no reason, but to me shows you that the fact that they're like folding on so much stuff so early, like the rivals stuff and the champ stuff and now some of the role stuff, shows you that like it has not worked so far. And you know what, I appreciate them like moving quickly and trying to help fix it. Now keep in mind, again, I'm on his Twitter page because he said like, we see the feedback. Who in the hell do we talk to? Where do we go to show the feedback? Like, this is where, to me, another criticism of mine comes in, because it's like, who the hell do we tweet at if we want to show clips and give feedback to? Like, if somebody wants to be constructive, who do you talk to? I have a problem with that because Tom Cleffy's talking to a bunch of like creators out there. Why can the guy who has 0 followers on Twitter not know for sure if I tweet at somebody, like I know that that's who I need to tweet at? Whereas when you just vaguely say, oh, we see the feedback, we see what you guys are saying, well, it's like you're probably seeing then the top people, like those followers, like Nepenthes and other creators out there and shit like that. That's who you're seeing the feedback from. Well, is that necessarily a representation of the community at large, right? Probably not. And they might not even do that. Like, they might not just look at Nep's tweets and like the creators' tweets. They might look at everybody's, but we need to know a person or somebody to tweet at, because like we don't have anybody right now. The guy who we could deleted his shit. Like, the guy we finally could deleted his account. So it's like, I appreciate him going on and talking about stuff, but it does feel like, yeah, you're just polishing a turd. I don't know how you end up having somebody on like that who is a core contributor to the people making this game. You don't ask him about the biggest question that we all have, and basically the whole community has had for years and years. So I don't know, that's where, to me, I think that whole thing just kind of fell flat a little bit, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think about it? And yes, UFL comes out today. Give it a try. Let's see if it's fun. I'm really hoping it is. I'm really hoping that it's like rewarding to play and gameplay's fluid and fast and fun. If it is to me, that's awesome. Now that'll segue us into kind of like the next point, which we're actually not going to get to comments right now, but I was discussing yesterday, how much UFL do we cover? Do I cover it on a second channel? Do I cover it on like a second part to this video every day? Like, what exactly do we do? Now, pretty much everybody said yes, cover it, but then the question was like, where do we put it? What I think I'm going to do is, for right now, because UFL, like the news and stuff like that, there's not like a ton of stuff to talk about on a day-to-day basis right now. I'll probably just add UFL news and interesting things that I think are worth your guys' time and worth you guys knowing about at the end of our videos every day. Like a UFL little section if there is news talking about the game or anything like that. And if it reaches a point where this game ends up being, you know, massive and it's worth making videos on basically on its own, then we'll do that probably on the second channel. That's kind of my thought process behind this right now, because I don't want to waste you guys' time on a bunch of UFL news if it's not very interesting every day. Because, you know, FIFA and EAFC, there's tough stuff to talk about every single day, right? UFL, we don't really know yet exactly how it's going to look. So what we'll probably do for now is just everything I find interesting that I think you guys might find interesting as well about UFL, we'll talk about on a certain section of the video every day. And of course, videos as always are timestamped. If you want to just skip through whatever you want to skip through, you always can, right? But okay, the market, interesting, because we actually are not going to get a Thunderstruck Team 2. I thought we might. Doesn't look like we're actually going to, and I wouldn't guess Succession is going to be too insane. We got a huge week of content for Black Friday. The market's probably going to be okay to buy stuff, even like tonight. Tonight after Rivals Rewards is actually a pretty damn good time to me. I think that I still wouldn't want to hold all the way until probably next, Monday, that kind of time. I wouldn't want to hold all the way till then. But I think this is probably one of those cases where you can actually hold a card into Friday content, because I'm guessing there's not going to be anything too insane coming out on Friday, apart from the promo team, which like Messi, Yamal, you probably can't even afford either of them. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to afford most of the cards coming in the team. So unless something happens that I'm not expecting, you should be fine, really, to probably buy cards tonight post Rivals Rewards by maybe 3 to 5 hours after Rivals Rewards is probably the sweet spot. Okay, let's read your comments and we'll open our icon pack. Big John, sorry, it's not Big John, Bio John. Sorry, John, you're not Big John. The update is not live yet, but I felt the teams from squad battles playing way better already. Abusing glitches and weird animations happening. Now, there was a bit of a conspiracy going around that about a week or two ago, squad battles got harder. Now, there was no confirmation of that, because how could you, ever really for sure confirm that? I don't really know how you could, but that was something that was kind of a rumor going around, that like it seems squad battles got harder. I'm kind of bringing that up because do you guys feel the same way? Even prior to this update, did squad battles get a bit harder recently? And hey, now that we are post-patch, let me know in the comments what you guys have thought about the gameplay. Are there significant changes here? I haven't noticed much myself. I think that there definitely was a change in the offsides potentially being slightly better. I use Poacher++ though, so the offsides for me has not really been a huge problem since the release date, so it's hard for me to be able to tell that. But I've seen some comments post the patch coming out about it. Let me know what you guys think, if you've noticed any changes or not. Okay, it's time for our icon pack. Some of you might hate this, but I'm gonna do a roulette because I think that that's just fun. I haven't done one yet this year. If you're a certified roulette hater, I apologize, but okay, we are going to begin with, usually Wales is an L, but Bale does exist, and it's not Wales. Okay, Ukraine, I believe is next. Shevchenko, it's not Shevchenko, which is nice. Next is Henrik Larsson for Sweden. It's not him. That's good. Serbia is Nemanja Vidic, who wouldn't actually be the worst card ever, but it's not him. Scotland's Kenny Dalglish. Wouldn't mind that. Not Kenny. Keep going. I'll take Lev Yashin. Fuck it. It's not Lev Yashin. Romania, George Haji. I wouldn't really like. It's not him. Ireland is Keane, who I already have, so please don't be too... Oh my god, my heart just dropped. It's not Roy Keane. I bought him and used him, and I actually really liked him, though. Okay, George Best. That'd be cool. It's not George Best. Mexico is Hernandez, and what's his nuts? It wasn't him anyway. Hungary's Puskas. Please, God. Oh, why? Why did my heart drop again? I should have clicked on just high to low so I don't get a heart attack every time a card pops up. Keep going. Denmark would suck. Well, that's it for me, folks. Alt F4 time. I appreciate you. I love you all. So, your zone base.